Hello and a very warm welcome. This is another edition of the Coaching Hour podcast brought to you in proud partnership with Coaches Network South Africa. My name is Paul Rotherham. We are equally balanced today for the show because it's two gents and two ladies. I'm joined, as always, by Mary and Mareka, and we have a special guest, which, if your maths is any good, you will know is a man. Mareka, hello. You're going to do the introductions for us.
Yes, thank you so much, Paul. We have Andre Retief with us as our guest. It's so great to have you again as our guest today because we've had you, I think, way back when we were still on radio. And so Andre is a coach and he's a mentor. He's also a Comensa senior coach and master mentor. He loves training coaches and mentors to help them grow as coaches. And you're also currently busy with your coach supervision course. So welcome as our guest today.
Thank you very much, Mareka. Thank you for the privilege. Yeah, it's been a long time, but here we are back again.
Yes.
And maybe today's topic might sound a little bit strange, but it's something that I've picked up of late.
Mm.
And maybe I can start just by sharing my slides and get that going, just so that we can see what it's all about.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about showing up, which is quite something I'm very interested in. Thanks, Andre.
Right. So, yes, showing up and always showing up, but what if you can't?
Mm.
And I think this is very applicable for us as coaches, especially because we always need to show up. We're expected to show up. And I think we all dream about coaching our very best and winning at coaching or coaching our clients to become great, for them to deal with their challenges. But I think it's all about showing up that counts. And I think the question could be, is it always possible? Because sometimes I'm sure any coach has gone through this feeling of, I wish my client would cancel. I'm not up to it right now. I cannot show up. Or maybe all my clients should just postpone today because I'm not in a good space. I'm not feeling great. But the thing is, we are just expected to be on that level, that high level of I'm always there, I'm always showing up, I never let my clients down. And it's almost like that's how we are seen, that coaches don't have problems, coaches don't have issues, they don't have challenges. And that's quite a question to ask ourselves. Is it always possible to show up? And I think a coach themselves could answer that question.
Mm.
So
Can
Woody
I just
Allen.
say, Andre, if you don't mind me interjecting very briefly, I don't think this is only talking to coaches.
Mm.
I think this is talking to the vast majority of people who I know at the moment who wake up, as I have today, to be quite frank, didn't sleep well, dealing with a lot of issues that I need to resolve. And I don't think you need to be a coach to feel like you just don't feel like it. You don't feel like doing the
Correct.
work. You don't feel like putting on
Yes.
the face. You don't feel like entertaining. You don't feel like seeing people, talking to people. You just want to put yourself in a box and actually stay in bed. That would be nice. That's how I'm feeling this morning, to be completely honest with you. So I'd just like to make that distinction that if you're watching this and you are not a coach, then there's a very good chance that we will still be talking to you today.
Absolutely. I think it goes very wide. Even as a CEO of a company, can you always show up? Can you always be your best? But Woody Allen said 80% of success is showing up. But the problem is, what if you don't? What then? Then the success goes down the drain. And I think that's something that we need to think about. And it's not always easy to show up. And I think it's that showing up that will count. But what if we don't? Then what? What if you are not able to show up? Because we all have those days where, as Paul just mentioned, that I just don't feel that great today. I just don't feel I had a bad night, or I never slept because I was worrying about this and that. But now you expect it. And not only as a coach, but you get to the office, you got this big meeting or presentation to do, but you've had a terrible time just recently behind you. And how can you just then go up there and just be your best? And I think that is where the problem starts. And we all dream about winning, but I think it's the showing up that counts. And sometimes you can't win because you can't show up. And I think it's about being real. So we often ask leaders, even in the corporate worlds nowadays, where there's a lot of management or leaders that's being trained as coaches, but we ask them to show up as a coach, but also what does it really mean? And to show up as a coach or as a person, it doesn't just always happen. And I think that's where the problem comes in. So showing up means to appear or become visible, make a showing, but it's okay to still appear. It's okay to still show up. It's still okay to make that showing, be visible. But in what space are you visible? How are you visible? Because a lot of people, you can actually pick it up on their face. Just looking at their face, you know that they are not there. They, they are just not in a great space. So showing up as a coach means being present, engaged, focused, embodying the qualities of a supportive, trustworthy, and observant guide, ready to facilitate growth and guide towards goals. But now we need to ask ourselves, do we do it? Can we do it? Are we able to? And that's where the thing comes in. And I know as coaches, we know there's a lot of standards that's being applied. And these are some of them, being present as a coach. But what if you've had a bad time? What if something really traumatic happened an hour before your session? What are we going to do? Are you just going to force yourself to show up or not? And I know there's coaches that do that. They try and really just be there. They try and just, as they say, wing it. But are you really able to? Because subconsciously, a lot of people can pick up that you're not there. They can pick up that you're not 100% showing up. So it's all about the energy, the intentionality in this whole thing. And what if you're in a foul mood because something happened? Is it possible to then actually come forward and show up or not? And yes, showing up, be visible, but this comes to a deeper sense where you can say, I'm showing up as this coach, I'm being present, I'm giving my full attention, my mind is cleared of all the clutter. How can you do it if you just had some bad experience or worries about something, which can be financial worries? It could be maybe you yourself are going through a divorce. Maybe something else has happened that's traumatic. How do you then really show up as a coach? And we need to ask ourselves that question. And that question goes further. What do we do about it? How do we get past that? And the question also is, how many great coaching sessions will be missed if you do not show up as your best self? You come there, you show up as in a session, but you're not your best self. Is that fair to the client? Is that fair to yourself? Because you're not there. You're not 100% there. Now, as a coach, we are responsible for how we show up. Not our moods, our bad experiences, but it's all about how we are in that moment. And we can also call it being there, being present, making sure that we focus and we eliminate all distractions so that we can be our best self to our clients. But now, what if something has happened or you're just not feeling great, say the last 2 weeks, because there's a buildup of things that's happened? What do we do? And showing up as a coach, I mean, we can be ready to facilitate that growth, guide towards goals, have that energy, and just be there. Just, it's easy when you're on a high. It's easy when sessions are going well, your life outside of the coaching is going great, everything like that. Then it's easy. Then we don't even ask ourselves the question. But in that process, many times we also neglect our own self-care. And like someone mentioned one day, self-care is not about your candles and bubble bath every evening. Oh, I'm self-care. That's not what it is. But what do we do? Because we also need to think about where we are in life and what's happening. So if we want to show up as a coach, we need to be enthusiastic. We need to be supportive. We need to be trusting, goal-oriented, and obviously observant. But if you got all this clutter or issues or challenges in your mind, I don't think you can tick one of these boxes. And that's where the problem comes in. And I think that's what makes it so difficult. And that's where authenticity comes in. How real are you? And going on to that, how honest are you about this? Are you being honest to yourself? Are you being there to say, well, should I actually cancel my appointments today? Should I actually take a week's holiday? What should I do? Because I'm not in a good space and I need to get out of this. And it's not snap and you're out of it. And I think that's where the problem comes in. So when we show up really our best self, we stay focused and we also show our connectedness in the whole process. So how can we show up as a coach? It's also about creating transparency, building that trust, that team psychological safety assessments, and obviously establish communication norms. And it's so easy if you are okay. But I think with what everyone's going through the last year, especially, I've heard a lot of people say, oh, 2024 was such a terrible year. 2025 is going to be the year we're going to just show up our best. And I don't think it's actually what's happened. And I talk to a lot of people, I talk to a lot of coaches, and everyone's just as if they're almost concerned, as if they're almost worried. And I think it affects them showing up in that good way. It's also about establishing meeting norms, rules of engagement, mutual expectations, conflict resolution norms. It's all about that if we can show up as a coach. But if there's that little thing that starts affecting you, and we all know that eventually it'll start overruling your whole mind. And so often, the last couple of years, we hear people say these words: get up, dress up, and show up. Now, the first two are usually easy because you get up and you get dressed. That's easy. But it's about showing up. And that part can become the real challenge, especially as coaches, but even all other people too. But it's expected of us. We need to be showing up. I'm this coach. Everyone looks up to me. Everyone thinks I'm some special version. And now my world's falling apart. Things are going wrong. And what do we do? And how do we feel? And how do we get out of that? Because there is a reality of life as well. And again, to mention as coaches, our blood are also red. For South Africans, some are green, but we are we're all just human. Like all the other people, we're not immune to not feeling great. We're not immune to not feeling that I can show up today. But what do we do? And it's a good question. And I won't have all the answers. I don't have answers for those, but because everyone's different and you can't expect what works for one will work for the other. But what are we going to do about this? Because I think of late, talking to other coaches, they all go through tough times at the moment. every single one of them. And it's not just, oh, I don't have clients. It's other things, other stuff that comes up that really affects them. And I'm on certain groups where security groups and stuff where people go through such hard times, people take their own lives, people just give up. And that's normal people that you would never expect that from, or would ever think that person's got a problem. And then you realize how much work we've got to do. But how can we do the work if we ourselves are not able to show up? And I think that's where we need to come up and say, okay, what are we going to do here? How can we show up better? And I think there's a lot of answers that needs to be coming forward to say, I can do this or I can do that, whatever it may be. It's difficult to say, here's all the answers. So many times it's exactly what we do is just to be showing up because it's expected that we are okay because we're a coach. And I've heard people say, but you're a coach. You shouldn't be struggling. You've got all the answers. Is that true? I don't know. So many times that's exactly what we do. And we believe that we need to just show up. But the thing is, do we always find that we are able to show up? And I'm sure everyone can say that they've had their times where they didn't want to show up, where they wanted to just crawl into a little corner and just sit there and sob their hearts out. We all go through that. Otherwise, we're probably not that normal. But we feel compelled to show up for our clients because if we don't, what then? Yes, what then? We may think that the client will fire us as their coach. They would think you're weak, you're vulnerable, you're not good enough, and we're going to look bad, and we're not capable of showing up because, yes, we're just not good enough. And I think if those things happen, it even escalates to our minds playing worse games on us to start saying to yourself, maybe I'm just a failure, maybe I'm just not cut out for this, maybe I'm just not a coach. And that can create a lot of self-doubt. And I think, how many times have you come to a point where you just felt that I just cannot do this? But yet we push ourselves, we push through, we try and just go and almost unstoppable. And you start to run on empty. And I think my one point I want to raise is that how real are we then? How honest are we to ourselves? Yes, we have a responsibility, but in our current world, just think what's going on out there, where people are struggling excessively at the moment. We forget that we are also human. We don't always have to be strong. We also have issues. And we also have stuff like financial issues, challenges, things that go wrong. But now this is where we need to mention that word, authenticity. Are we real? Showing up, yes. Being that coach, being that perfect, someone the people admire and look up to. But what if you're not able to show up one day? And your mind's full of this stuff going on, many things, and you're trying to work out how I'm going to get my car fixed that just broke, and the washing machine's broken, and the fridge is just packed up. And all these things affect us, and we don't have 10 Rand to our name. What are we going to do? What if it's just too difficult to show up? And in saying that, I also mean showing up for real. What if, what if I don't? And we think that if I postpone a session, the whole world's going to come crumbling down. If I don't show up, I'm going to look bad. If I don't show up, what then? And that goes to the next question. Is it fair for your client to show up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%? How fair is that on your own client? And also, is it fair for you not to be authentic and say, you know what, I cannot show up today. I need to postpone. I need to phone my clients and cancel, and not come with some other story. But if you just can't show up, you can't, because your client pays for the session. They expect 100%, but you can only give them 50% because your mind's all over the place. You're stressing and you're not giving full attention. You're not even listening to halfway what they're saying, and you're just on a different page as them. So I know we're not many on the group right now, but let's hear, what do you think about this?
I think the
Because
first step is to admit that you are where you are. You know, as I did now at the beginning of this podcast, admit that I think as humans there will be days where we're not functioning at 100%, where we're feeling a heaviness, or we've been dealing with things that have just built up over time. And I think that, as I said earlier, applies to many people, not only to coaches. And I think there's been this underlying theme probably for many months, even here on this Coaching Hour podcast, where a lot of the people that we have had as guests, and I think a lot of our audience, is feeling totally overwhelmed by life, whether it's financial, personal, work issues, the state of the country, the state of the world, the turmoil, the uncertainty. So I think, Andre, that today you've been speaking to many, many people. You've obviously framed it as being coaches who aren't perhaps where they should be when they're meeting up with their partner and offering a coaching session. But I think that this speaks to many, many people. And I think, well, Mary and Mareka can jump in here as well. But I think what I'd like to get to is, what are the, I wouldn't say solutions, but what are some of the tips and tricks, as it were, that we can all apply? As you say, you can show up, you can put on that face, and there are times where you have to do that, where you can admit. And I think that's probably the first thing. If I was going to see a coach, or if I was having a meeting with someone who'd had a bad night, who's dealing with things in their life, I would far rather they say to me, "Hey, Paul, sorry, I've honored our agreement. I'm here for the meeting. But just to let you know, I had a terrible night's sleep. My daughter is sick at the moment. My wife's been away for 2 weeks and I haven't seen her, so I'm really not feeling great. I'm here, but please just know that if I'm not myself, that's why." And I think then you've opened up the opportunity to have honest conversation. And that's something I think, particularly with men, that we don't like to have. Men don't like to be honest. They don't like to share their hearts. We don't like to show that we are perhaps weaker than we would like people to think. Where I think in 2025, those are all signs of strength.
Hmm.
Mary,
Yeah, I think
Mareka?
Well, I was listening, to every single thing that Andre was saying, and that these are all valid points. However, for me, I've been through all of these things, and I've managed to, because I don't relate now to not showing up. It's very far and few between. Because I have a discipline, I make sure that I attend to myself first. I
Hmm.
always meditate before I go into any engagement with anybody. I meditate, I set my intention, I protect myself energetically, and then I surrender to the divinity. Now, not everybody can do this, because you've got to reach a level of evolving into that state. But those are the steps. Is first of all to be self-aware, then to acknowledge, as you said, Paul, this is my state. The next step is, what else is possible for me? Because we can tap into infinite possibilities when we surrender and when we accept what the state of mind is that we're in at that present moment. The next moment is a choice. What do I do? Do I do introspection and ask myself, what is it in me that is creating this state that I'm in? Because every state you're in is a process. It's not permanent. Every single thing that we think about creates how we feel, because it comes from thoughts. Thoughts trigger feelings, feelings trigger action. So the responsibility is to ask ourselves the most empowering question. What is it in me that is creating this reality? The
Yes.
answers will come. Then you attend, you take action. When the answer appears, you take action immediately. And you do what is necessary for you to step out of that state to show up.
And it's interesting that we can bring different perspectives on this. Thanks, Mary. That's one of the approaches I also use. But for me, it's about two things, because we've all gone through those difficult times. And obviously, if you are to service to others, it is slightly a bit more challenging because that person is expecting a certain level of insight. So for me, it's two things. I became more resilient through it. And the second thing is congruence. So firstly, there was days that I canceled clients for the day in the past. I used, not, but you cannot do that obviously every day. But I've done that and given myself the day. But then you develop a way to compartmentalize, to really go within and to be able to show up and really be able to get yourself in a different state, and then things just flow. And the other part is the congruence part is now I need to apply what I teach my clients. So in that moment, I cannot keep on suppressing that. So I need to set time aside to then deal with that issue, to deal with that emotion, to go through a healing yourself, or even getting a coach for yourself, because it's very difficult to see yourself from your own lens sometimes. And I've done that previously, where you then find help also because you have to ask for help. So I think there's many facets of this, but through that all, we build up, becoming more resilient and growing through that. But it's a very important topic because sometimes this might keep people from even starting their business as a coach or a therapist. I just had a conversation yesterday with a person or a coach that did his training, but he said he feels like it's going to be he's going to be a hypocrite for starting his coaching practice because he's going through all these personal problems. Um, so it can also be a hurdle for someone to really, start their business. So it's quite an interesting topic, but it's important to know that, yeah, one has to face it. And then, I don't know, Andre, if you have some, like Paul said, some tips or solutions. Not every solution will work for every person, but some suggestions on how to now overcome this, because it's a fact, yes, but how do we move forward from this?
Yeah, and I think something not to do is just if I just don't feel like doing the session, I feel a little bit lazy or a little bit tired. I don't think that's even coming into play here. It's when you're really going through some tough situations or something. And I think what helps is to talk to people, talk to other people, talk to fellow coaches. That's why I think there's this big thing of supervision, coach supervision, where you can come to someone and actually say, you know what, I'm struggling with this, or I've got this client that's really hard. I can't get through it, and it's almost like bringing me down or pulling me down as a coach. So there are ways to do it, and as you said, everything doesn't always work for everyone. But I think we need to start voicing it and not just keeping it to ourselves, because I think that becomes even worse. And I like what Paul said, that nowadays it's actually so much better where men, where they used to keep quiet and just suppress everything, can come forward and say, you know what, I'm not feeling that great. I'm really struggling at the moment. And be vulnerable. It's okay, because no one's going to judge you or should judge you, but rather be real, rather come forward.
True. Um, Any other suggestions, Andre? I think this is a very important topic because we all, like Paul said, it's not just coaches, especially these days with all the stress and pressure
Yeah.
and challenges that we're facing, we cannot not show up every single day. Sometimes you just have to show up in spite of.
Yes, you have to. But I think if we start to create awareness of it and say, okay, you know what, that is valid. I can't do that today. But it's also, people easily fall into that trap of saying every day, oh no, I just don't feel it, I just don't feel it. And then they don't see clients for weeks because they're just not there. They just don't want to. And I think it's to do that work yourself and say, okay, how do I need to get out of this? Because I also have a responsibility towards my clients. Yes, we are all just human, and we end up in those spaces where we're just not that great. But I think it's about what do you do with those challenges? Are you taking responsibility? Because it also comes back to that thing of what would you say to your client if they came up with, oh, I can't show up at work, I can't this. What would we say to them? And sometimes we need to say it to ourselves.
True.
That's when a coach needs a coach too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with it. We do.
Yeah, we have to face it, because especially if you go through really traumatic, like for example, a divorce or something, it's something that prolongs, for months. So you cannot not show up for months. So you have to start dealing with that. Yeah, be truthful to yourself.
Yes, and almost separate yourself from your situation and say, okay, I've also got responsibility. I've also got to work. I've also got to carry on, and not, yes, give yourself the time to grieve or to process certain things, but you can't do it forever. But I think it's just to come back to that thing of just be honest to yourself. If you really can't show up one day, don't force yourself,
Yes.
but make work of it and say, okay, why am I feeling this way? What has happened? How can I do better? How can I go forward from this? How can I pull myself out of this situation to be able to start showing up again?
Very important.
And hopefully, after listening to all of this, you will be able to show up, whoever you are, whether you are a coach, a CEO, an employee, an entrepreneur. I think even when you retire in life, there are spaces and times and places where, hey, you still have to show up, even if you're old and wrinkly.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's true.
Any final
And I
thoughts?
wasn't referring to anybody in this session, by the way.
We are
Yeah,
still
so just
young.
ask yourself the question, is it fair? Is it real? And does it make you a great coach to show up when you cannot? No, I don't think so. But it's about, you know what, getting up again. And when you have those moments, be authentic, be real to yourself. But if you can't show up, don't show up, but work on it and fix it so that you can show up.
Or see a coach.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Even if you are a coach, get a coach.
You have
Sometimes
to.
it's good to have a good network of coaches around you that you can come to and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. And people unpack it with you and they try and help you and support each other. You can't be on your own.
Yeah.
Very important.
Awesome, Andre. Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad you could join us with these insights.
Thank you.
And thank you as well, from what I understand, the great work that you are doing for the coaching industry as a coach who coaches coaches. So thank you very much for whatever it is that you're doing behind the scenes. We appreciate that, even though the layman may often not see it. So thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you very much, Paul.
Ladies, as always, I think we will leave it there for now for the sake of time. But thank you to you both for joining us. The comments are welcome. Your comments are welcome. We'd love to hear from you. If perhaps you are in the coaching space, as we all are, I guess, to some extent, the four of us who are here in this session. If you are in the coaching space and you'd like to appear on the coaching hour, then please do let us know. Mareka generally manages all of our guests, but there's an open door. So we're always looking for interesting people to come and share their experiences and their stories with us. And all of those details will be in the description. Am I right, Mareka?
Yes, 100%. So they can just drop me an email and then I'll take it from there.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Brought to you in proud partnership with Coaches Network South Africa. Our guest today, Andre Retief. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of the Coaching Hour.